I do have to ask you about your guy, Dez Bryant there. Is him not being signed, is it really more about him, or is it about the teams who are not interested in him?
Look, it's a mixed bag, Dan. I mean, I think I've talked to a number of GMs and coaches in this league. They've looked at the tape. And if you talk to different teams and different GMs, you're going to get different answers. Some will tell you they don't think that he's put out a lot of great tape in the last couple of years. You could also argue there have been situations in Dallas that may not have led to the best of tape for Dez Bryant. But there is some truth to the fact that Dez is not going somewhere just to seek employment. Dez wants to play, and he wants to be competitive where he plays. And so, yes, there have been some teams that he's talked to. Baltimore, of course, was one of them that he walked away from. There have been some teams that have been interested and have kicked the can on Dez, and I still think that there's a market there. But the market has cooled down, and I do argue that if he had been let go at the beginning of free agency, Dez would have been with the team by now. Bottom line.
They certainly didn't help him out in terms of the timing. That deal you talked about with Baltimore that he walked away from, more than $7 million a year, a multi-year contract, not going to be sniffing anything like that. Next step for Dez now is what?
But it's not about the money for him, Dan, and I think that's what people are sort of losing sight of. As Dez said to me in our interview, I came from dirt. It's not about the money. It's never been about the money. Again, this goes back to a competitive situation.
Everybody always says it's not about the money. Do you believe, Dez, that it's not about the money?
When you know Dez and you know where he's come from, it really is not about the money for him. He is 1,000% authentic when he tells you it's all about football. This guy just wants to compete, and right now it's a little bit about revenge. I think he's holding out to see if New York happens to have a need come training camp. And I got to tell you, selfishly, I would love to see Dez Bryant in this division covering the Cowboys as much as I do, because I just think it would make this matchup already entertaining now that we've got Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott. Now add Dez Bryant to the mix, and I think you've got a really interesting division.
Oh, and by the way, he's good buddies with Odell Beckham, has been training with Odell out here in Los Angeles. The first time in his career he has ever trained with a personal trainer before.